Hi, this is Jim Nolte with the Ultimate Lending Team, and I'm here to talk maybe for a couple of minutes about the hottest topic for home buyers right now, and it's how to win in this competitive market. So what I can tell, and I'm just flying off the cuff here just to get this video out, is that you need to be able to close on your transaction quickly. And the best way to describe it is you have to close like you're a cash buyer. A cash buyer can close in 2 weeks. They just generally have to get an inspection, although they don't have to, and get their funds together. And it usually takes, about 2 weeks to just get the title work and everything squared away for people to complete a transaction. Typically for a loan, it's usually been about 30 days to close. So you're already a little bit behind the 8 ball there as far as not being able to close in 2 weeks. So fortunately at the Ultimate Lending Team, we have built a lending platform where you can confidently close on a conventional loan in 2 weeks, just like cash. The next thing you have to do to step up like cash is also potentially waive the loan objection and appraisal deadlines that come after the inspection deadline. So typically those are called contingencies, which the seller sees that you have to get past in order to know that they're going to close on the transaction. So if you have a late loan objection deadline, 2 weeks out, a cash buyer doesn't have that. So our lending platform, if the borrower sends in the income and asset documentation early, can waive that loan objection deadline. Now, we do talk about the potential risks for that, but you'll be able to hopefully mitigate those and feel comfortable about it. Secondly is the appraisal. A lot of times there's an appraisal contingency. However, with a cash buyer, they don't have to have an appraisal. So you would then need to be able to figure out how to waive that appraisal deadline. And typically the way that works is that you would be able to cover any kind of gap in the appraised value versus the purchase price, because for all lending, we have to use the appraisal value or the purchase price, whichever is lower, in order to set up your loan. So if you can cover the appraisal gap, and we feel confident that it's a property that conventional financing can lend on, then you can also potentially take that small risk of waiving the appraisal. Again, I do say that there are risks involved with this, because if you do waive your appraisal and you do waive your loan objection and you go past any other date that allows you to get your earnest money back, then your earnest money will go hard. So there are certain risks with those, but within this current real estate market, sometimes people are having to take a little bit of extra risk in order to get that done. So being able to close in 2 weeks is critical. The next component is getting the seller to like your offer the best. Now, obviously, you've got to have the top price or very close to the top price, or all these other strategies might not work. But if you're within the top 2 or 3 offers, then what's going to be critical is how the sellers and the seller's agent are perceiving your offer. So the first thing that happens is your agent, the buyer's agent, being communicative with the listing agent. Knowing that there's a strong line of communication and not a lot of delay is important. Your real estate agent also, being able to communicate effectively with that selling agent is very important. The next thing is knowing what your lending looks like as well. They need to know that you're working with one of the top lenders in the country or in Denver itself, which we are, and that we have a team behind our buyer to execute on what we say we're going to execute on. And so us being able to tell the listing agent all of this information is critical, knowing that they've got a top lender, a top buyer's agent that they're working with, that's communicating, that can be flexible and maybe adjust the offer, add a little escalation in if we need to still stay in that top 1 or 2 offers of what they might consider. Lastly, we have a nice letter to the seller as well, so that they have that, knowing to get the peace of mind about the lending team that they're working with, and the confidence to know that we're serious and that we're going to close, and that we're not just trying to get it under contract. So hopefully this was helpful. Please do reach out to us. We can help you close in 2 weeks. And thanks again. I'm Jim Nolte with the Ultimate Lending Team.